Ask me if I just got lectured in TJ Maxx from an old lady about my tattoos. Yes, I did. Okay, I was just casually shopping for a little art picture, and this 74-year-old lady comes over to me, and she's like, "Excuse me." I'm like, "What?" She's like, What is the significance of this hanger, this clothing hanger?" And I said, "Well, I'm actually a model, and I also own my own clothing store." And she said, I just don't get it. I just don't get these days." And I said, "That's okay. You don't have to understand." And I said, "Most of my tattoos actually don't even have meaning." And she said, I don't understand this world, how it's going." And I said, "Yeah, change is hard, and it's hard to adapt to the new world." She said, well, you know what? God actually, and Jesus, it's in the Bible that they don't like tattoos. And I said, "Well, I'm not religious, so that's okay with me." And she said, "Well, my son, he's in the Air Force, and when he was 18, he wanted a tattoo, and his dad and I said, if you get a tattoo, don't come back in this house. And you know what? He thanks me now. He thanks me for not letting him do that." And I said, "Oh, well, that's great. I'm actually 30, and I love my tattoos, and they are art for me." And she said, "Well, you're probably not going to like them when you're my age." And I said, "Well, that's okay. I love them now." And she said, "How does your grandmother feel about those tattoos?" And I said, "My grandma's actually dead, but she actually really liked my tattoos." And she said, "Oh, well, how does your mother feel about those tattoos?" I said, "Well, my mom's actually also dead, and she didn't like tattoos. But after my mom died, I started getting some that had meaning because my mom died." She said, "Oh, how old was your mom when she died?" I said, 55. And then she said, "Well, you know what? My dad always told my sister and I to be classy, and my mom always told us to be a lady. So my sister and I, we're classy ladies." I said, "Oh, that's fabulous." And she said, she just kept saying, "I just don't get it. I don't get it." And I said, "Yeah, that's okay. You don't have to get it." And she said, "I hope you don't think I'm being rude." And I said, "It's okay. I hear this a lot, more than you think." And she said, I don't get it. And and I said, "That's okay." It went on and on and on for about 15 minutes in the store, okay? And I wanted to just say, "Well, do you want to see all of them? Do you want to see all my tattoos? Because I have a lot. I have about 35. And anyway, we just sat there. Workers were walking by, and they kept going. And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I need to get out of this conversation." And it went on and on and on. She got really uncomfortable. She started saying, "Oh, look at this art print. It's really pretty." Because she could tell that I was not offended. I was not bothered. I was bored of the conversation, okay? So if you're an old lady, shut your mouth, okay? Because your opinion means nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. I was just trying to shop, okay? And she's like, "What's your name, sweetie?" And I'm like, "Lacey." She's like, "I'm Scarlett." Then she gives me a hug, and she's like, "You know what, Lacey? I hope I see you again." I'm like, "I hope not. I really hope not." Anyway, it went on and on and on. I pulled my phone out at one point to start recording, and it was just ridiculous. And she's like, I can't even remember everything she said, but she just went on and on and on. She just kept saying, I don't get it. Okay? You don't have to get it, sis. This is about me. This isn't about you. And anyway,
I think that's a bit of a weird encounter, a bit of a weird conversation between two people, isn't it? I mean, she says near the start, the older woman saying, "Oh, I don't get it these days," and that's often a conversation between, the two generations. Well, probably 3 or 4 generations, really. The difference between when they were 30 and now, kind of this new generation when we're like 20, 30. So yeah, I don't think it was a conversation that really needed to be had. To be honest, it just sounds like this older woman's got a bit too, you know, she's got a bit too much talk, and she shouldn't be really just going up to random people and saying, you know, I don't like that about you, that's weird, why'd you do this? Because that's the way this woman's described it. But, you know, it could have also come across as just a curious, you know, older woman thinking, why do you have that? Like, why, if that doesn't have meaning, how come you put that on your body and stuff like that? But, you know, it comes across quite judgmental and quite just a little bit rude, really, to just go up to a random stranger and start asking, you know, why are you doing that? What's the point? You're going to hate that when you're my age. I think she makes a very good point of, but she loves them now, so it doesn't really matter, does it? If you love them now, that's, you know, that's perfect, that's fine. So yeah, it just seems like a conversation that didn't really need to be had, and just a woman that she probably doesn't want to bump into again, despite the other way around. It seems like the older woman, you know, was quite keen to meet her again, but yeah, I think maybe a slight misunderstanding, and this younger woman has took it a bit to heart when it maybe wasn't intended to be as much of an insult as she's took it as.
Send in your videos to be featured on our channel. Thanks for watching awesome videos. Like and follow.